Hey, it's Eddie Berman from Sound Pure. Hope everybody's doing good today. We thought we would talk a little bit about some tuning tips, just to make your playing life a lot easier to deal with. The interesting thing is the tuning of the guitar. There's so many things involved. You have, obviously, if you have a nice tuner, if you tune by ear, if your ear is good, if your ear is tired that day, if your strings are dead, believe it or not, the deader the strings, a lot of times the sharper the guitar goes. How well the nut is lubricated, the tuning keys, all this sort of stuff, everything's affected. The weather. If you're playing, a perfect time to talk about this, if you guys are playing a bunch of outdoor shows this summer, and you're in a good enough spot where you have an air-conditioned dressing room backstage, do not sit back there with your guitar waiting to go on. The guitar needs to be acclimated to what it's going to live through for the next hour and a half. So if your guitar is nice and chilly in that 75-degree dressing room and you go out and it's 110, you might as well forget tuning that guitar, because that's all you're going to be doing is tuning for the first however many songs. So we kind of try to take care of them as if they're a living, breathing thing, which they are. Even something as simple as, I always take a number 2 pencil graphite, put it in the nut here to lubricate the nut so the string goes back and forth with less friction. There are products out there that do that as well. It's a little easier just to put a number 2 pencil in your guitar case and have that. Tuning keys aren't normally a problem like a lot of people think. They don't normally slip. Something's really got to be wrong there. So it has to do with how well we've strung it as far as the number of wraps on the tuning post itself, or if you're using locking tuning keys, whether they're actually locked properly. And also how well you stretch the strings is a big deal too. So that's something that all those things need to be addressed. It's interesting, if we were to tune this guitar laying flat on the table and then pick it up to play it, it's going to be out of tune. It might still be in tune with itself, but our pitch that we're tuning to is not going to be, it will have changed. So I'll tune it. I'm going to tune it right now with a tuner, with a Peterson tuner. And we're trying to get the arrows to sit still. And I'm actually a believer that just leaving the weight of your hand on the guitar will make a difference. Or if you are going to be playing standing up, with the strap on, that's how you need to tune the guitar. Because anything extra we do to this thing is going to affect it. Okay, that's close, not dead on it, but so we saw that everything was reading in tune. Like if I pick the D string, let's pick the G string here, sitting still right there basically. If I lay the guitar on the bench here, like if your repairman was possibly tuning up or your tech, and I hit the G string, you see how sharp it is? But it's not in tune with the tuner any longer. So if we tuned up like this and then went out to play and didn't play with it in our lap, we're going to have issues. So that's what we're trying to avoid, things like that. If you can see, we try to have at least 3 windings per post. This is old school tuning keys here where you clip them and stick them down in, it's old school cloisonne style. Stick it down in the hole, wrap it 3 times. At least 3. So you have to pull slack past it, keep tension on the strings, and as you wind them. And and then the idea of really stretching, don't be bashful. You got to take those things and yank on them. And when you yank on them, keep pressure on the string the whole time. So like if I was going to stretch this E string, I'm holding this down here and coming up the string like so. And I'm going to do that for every string. And the guitar will probably be out of tune after I do this. But that's what we're going to do multiple times. You will notice that the string will start to stabilize itself and it won't dip as much. When you first try it though, what's funny is you will retune it back to the pitch that you started at, and then when you start to stretch the string again, you'll notice that it's gone way sharp because of the way the string, the tension came back in the string. So little things like that, stretch the daylights out of them, graphite here, don't leave your hand on the headstock. If you're going to stand up to play, stand up to tune it. The other thing is, in the past I always used a bridge pickup because I felt like it gave the most overtones with a bright sound to get the clarity. Well, there's another school of thought entirely. Using the neck pickup and with the tone control down, that gives a much more solidified, smaller amount of harmonic that the guitar is actually looking at, that the tuner is looking at, that the guitar is giving it. So that works. Also, you have to be careful. If you have super hot pickups on the guitar, if you've got the guitar wide open, you might be distorting the front end of the tuner. So that might cause issues right there. So you want to maybe back the volume off a little bit, and then try it. And again, like I said, with the tone control down, using the neck pickup, and you can see the guitar, even with me yanking on it, the way I did, is still in tune, because from when I sat down to tune it before, now remember when I laid it down on the table, it was actually sharp. So all that kind of affects your guitar. And like we said, you know, try to get her accustomed to whatever temperature is going on around it. If you're playing outside, you notice that you're standing in the shade. It's going to be hours before the sun hits you. Put the guitar in the shade. If you're standing in the sun, put the guitar in the sun. So hopefully that will help, and change your strings often. Thanks very much.